latest models of the GSXR 600 and GSXR 1000 are the fourth generation of each bike. Suzuki reinvents the model line every other year.
The thing that amazes me about Suzuki's GSXR 1000 is how incredibly capable it is, how powerful it is, how fast you can go, and how little effort it takes. It's not easy exactly. I mean, you have to pay attention. You've got a 163 horsepower motorcycle that weighs 430 pounds ready to ride.
It does all the things you want of a sport bike. It allows you to make mistakes as a rider, which we all do. We're human beings, and then recover for you. It's really good looking. It's a gorgeous motorcycle. It's just very purposeful. Ergonomically, it's not a mess. I mean, you can ride the thing all day if you need to. Maybe if you're a little bit younger, but you can ride the thing all day. It works that way. And when you do show up at the racetrack, it goes well.
Each new generation gets faster and lighter. The newest GSXR 600 continues the tradition started by the first one. They're built as race bikes and then modified to ride on the street.
Boy, lately, last few years, last 5, 6 years, the 600 has been tuned up, and it's right at the front.
The GSXR 600 outsells every other sport bike in America, 20,000 bikes a year.
The class is a huge performance bargain.
Compared to the GSXR 1000, the 600 is smaller and easier to ride.
You get on a 600 and they're not as intimidating because they don't have that kind of torque where you just crack the throttle, you're at the edge of traction, everything's on the edge and you're getting ready to come out and you give it a little bit of throttle. Well, they don't have the torque on the bottom that would go bang and make that tire go, whoa, what's that?
Since 1985, nearly 1 million GSXRs have been sold around the world. Every one of them a race bike built for the street.
Suzuki, they've got such a long history with that kind of motorcycle, and they've been building it for the rider for so long and refining it through racing and everything that you get. They work with you, you know.
To me, it's neat to know that what's happening here at the racetrack is actually, we're seeing it. I mean, it may not be next year, it may not be 5 years from now, but it eventually ends up in production motorcycles.
Both the GSXR 600 and the GSXR 1000 use onboard computers developed for racing to change how much power the engine makes.
Our latest technological challenge was adopting another feature developed for our race bikes for use on our street bikes. It's called a drive mode selector, and it allows riders to change the power characteristics of the engine to suit different riding conditions.
With a flick of a switch, riders can change throttle response, full, medium, or low power, depending on road and weather conditions.
That's what modern technology should be, something that helps riders enjoy themselves. Speed and all that stuff, that's not such the issue. It's the fact that you're going to go home on the same vehicle you arrived in. In other words, you're not going home in the ambulance, is what I'm saying. And that's what those settings work out well for that.
GSXRs use state-of-the-art technology, but the basic concept of the bikes is simple. It's all about having fun.
They are built to give riders the joy of a lightweight, fast and easy handling machine with cutting-edge technology.
Obviously on the street I can't get the same thrill as what I get on the racetrack, okay? But the attraction for me riding on the street is just the group time, you know, hanging out with your mates, going to have a coffee or going to do whatever. I mean, I really, really enjoy doing that.
GSX-R 1000 combines everything Suzuki has learned from nearly a half-century of racing.
In racing, we talk tenths of a second improvements, right? A tenth here or a tenth there.
Those tenths of a second add up. The latest GSX-R 1000 is not much slower than a full-out race bike.
Multi-millions of dollars being spent on prototype motorcycles, yet the production-based GSX-R 1000, anybody can go and get that motorbike for very little amount of money, is only about 3 seconds a lap slower. I mean, it's nothing. So the GP bike goes flying across the finish line, and then 1, 2, 3. There goes the street bike.
The Suzuki story is unlike any other in the motorcycle world. It began with a young man's simple desire to make it easier for his mother to weave cloth. That man, Michio Suzuki, would prove to be a mechanical genius who invented the world's best looms. And then, facing financial disaster, he found a way to reinvent both himself and his company.
I definitely think Suzuki is a company that's reinvented itself over and over and over, and to really, really amazing success.
Reinvention would become the hallmark of Suzuki motorcycles, and the reason Suzuki continues to redefine what a modern sport bike should be.
I rode a motorcycle when I was 3. A few months after I started riding it, you know, maybe some gas was spilt on it or whatever, and it caught on fire. I remember my dad chasing me with a bucket of water, throwing it on the bike, and, you know, and I'm jumping off the bike and all that sort of stuff. And my mum thinking, oh, you know, maybe that might slow him down, but as soon as I got the fire out, I was back on again. The seat was burnt, you know, and I was back, let's go again, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So little bits and pieces like that stand out.